My first recollection of meeting Bobby Rahal, I think, was when I was much younger, going to IndyCar races with my dad. But I remember specifically talking to Bobby post-Champ Car, kind of when I was in the flux between trying to find a ride and an IndyCar or maybe even going stock car racing. And we talked at Long Beach, and that was definitely something that stuck with me. And I remember speaking with Scott Remke about it, and I said, hey, if you ever need somebody to step in and get the job done in a hurry, I'm your guy, keep that in mind. And the opportunity came up in 2007. My debut race was here in Mid-Ohio in 2007. You know, David Letterman showed up, a lot of pressure on, and it was the start of a great relationship.
And in '07, when we replaced the driver we had, just because we were uncompetitive, and of course, you know, we thought we were doing everything we could do. In fact, it was at Mid-Ohio that Ryan came to drive for us the first time, and he immediately had the car in the top 10. And we hadn't been in the top 10 with the previous driver for a year or two, so it just showed you how important the driver was or is to the equation. And so he did a great job for us in '07, and you know, that led us to put together a full-time deal in '08.
Yeah, it was a great start to the relationship. You know, in '07, picking up just past halfway in the season, we got a great working relationship together. We were able to secure Rookie of the Year honors for the year, which was awesome. It was great to be in the IndyCar series and really getting a taste for all the big ovals that I had been watching the IRL on for years. So that was a good kind of foundation for us to move into 2008 with ethanol, and that was a really strong season that we had ahead of us. Yeah, Watkins Glen, 4th of July weekend, had big sponsor events going on, not only with ethanol, but IZOD, which was a personal sponsor of mine. And I remember the night before the race, Mike Kelly, who is the CMO, was actually almost calling the shot that we were going to win the next day. Felt a lot of pressure to do it, but it was just a phenomenal race, and I'll never forget that. It was a breakthrough win, not only for Rahal Letterman Racing, but that was a breakthrough win for myself, getting really back on the horse and solidifying what would be a long, successful IndyCar career from there. That was a special one for sure. I remember Scott Remke calling me through those last few laps, and had a really great relationship with Scott. We miss him every day, but yeah, I remember asking to do donuts at the end, and he wasn't too high on the fact. But such a great time, and such a special time for myself and the team.
Well, my recollection of Watkins Glen '08 was, you know, again, we were right up front. There was an incident probably 10 laps from the end. Scott Dixon was very aggressively, I think we were running P3 or P4 at the time. Scott Dixon was very aggressively, one might say over-aggressively, trying to warm his tires and lost control behind the pace car, spun, and Ryan Briscoe hit him and took those two out. So we went from P4 to P2, and Darren Manning was leading the restart. Darren was driving for Foyt at the time, and Ryan got a great restart past him, and then that was the end of the story for everybody else.
It'll be the first IndyCar Series win for Ryan Hunter-Reay at the Glen.
That's my boy. Good job, Ryan. Good job.
It was very important for us to, for the team to win that race. I mean, obviously important for Ryan, but for us as a team, I think we hadn't won since 2004, I guess, maybe 5. And so it'd been a couple of years. And yeah, that was a big day for all of us. And you know, it was I drove back to Columbus, Ohio the next day, and I don't know if the smile ever left my face.
I mean, all through coming up in karting and everything else, I always idolized the American drivers. Bobby was one of them, one of the successful Americans that really made a name for himself in this sport and then went on to team ownership. So it was always an opportunity that I sought out. I always would love to have driven for the icons, the American icons of the sport, Bobby being one of them. So to have that opportunity, I am honored, I'm proud to be just a small part of the story of Rahal Letterman Racing, and yeah, just immensely proud. Great relationship still today, and hopefully in the future can drive for him again.